good morning to you, Grenada, and the rest of the world. And wow, I just barely said good morning, and there they go, Wow, wow. Yeah, I was about to say, thank you very much for joining us for the midweek edition of Gudday Grenada on another beautiful morning here at the Spice Isle. We're happy that you were able to find some time to be with us, and we do hope that this morning's program will be informative, maybe entertaining, who knows. One way or another, it's just really, really good to see it. So let's begin by taking a look at the rundown that we've got coming your way today. First of all, the Royal Grenada Police Force has laid dangerous driving charges after a social media post. You know, we talk a lot about social media and the good things and some of the ills about that medium. But this story is about something good that's come out of social media. Everybody out there today who has a cell phone is running around, taking pictures of what's going on. And in addition to the cell phones, you know, there's some other devices like this one here that I have, tiny little devices that take some really, really good video. And a lot of people are putting those devices to good use, but there's some people who are not. Well, apparently some did put their device or devices to good use recently, and they were of help to the Royal Grenada Police Force in getting some of inconsiderate drivers off the road. I'm not sure they took them off the road, but at least I know they have laid some charges. In addition to that this morning, I'm going to give you guys a little reminder about the Tyrell Bay. You remember the Coast Guard cutter? This was, I've been on that boat. I went to Petit Martinique when they were launching the telephone service in Petit Martinique. I went up there with Prime Minister Blaise. Never forget that, man, never forget that. And the Tyrell Bay had been decommissioned some time ago and was just actually just sitting there rotting. And what happened is that the tourism authorities decided to, you know, let's clean this boat up and take it off Point Celine somewhere out there and sink it and use it as a tourist attraction. What would happen is that coral would start growing on it, and because the diving industry is so important to us here, you know, tourism people thought that would be a good idea. So that's what they did. And today happens to be the anniversary of the sinking of the Tyrell Bay. All right? So I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a wee bit. Then I have a little piece, I don't know if to laugh or cry, but I'm going to start by chuckling. It is captioned, "Someone who's peeved with bank security measures." I'm sure that many of you know by now, those of you who have a little penny halfpenny in the bank, you were probably given rules and regulations, you know, about the new policies of a lot of the banks. And the policy you're going to hear about this morning is the one which says that you cannot wear sunglasses when you're in the bank, okay? Well, apparently there's a young man whom you will be seeing in a few minutes, and this man went into one of the banks here and he was told to take his sunglasses off. Yeah, it's a little bit taken aback by that. And you're about to hear what happened after that. I hope you can understand everything that this guy is saying, but you'll see why I'm smiling. Then we do have for you the national report. That's going to come your way shortly. And then our good friend, Sherron Roberts. Sherron might be a little bit late this morning. Sometimes she gets here before I start the program. She's on her way anyhow, and she should be showing up here shortly. So we will have our Wednesday rendezvous with Miss Roberts, all right? But right now, let's get down, as they say, to brass tacks. Police have summarily charged 2 bus drivers after investigating a social media post which sparked concerns about dangerous driving on the nation's roads. You and I know there's a lot of that happening, right? Richardson Alexander of New Hampshire, St. George, and Terrence Mitchell of Moran in St. John have both been charged with 1 count each of dangerous driving in connection with a video that began circulating on social media in late August. All right? The Royal Grenada Police Force thanks and encourages the general public to continue to speak out against unsafe driving practices. That includes you. You know, you see these people doing this crazy stuff, go ahead, get a video, share it with the police. In a separate incident, police have also arrested and charged Dennis Cato of Calavini, St. George, for the offense of dangerous driving. Additional charges, get this, additional charges of uttering a forged document, no details given, deceiving a police officer, and 2 counts of driving without a driver's license were also laid against Mr. Cato. He was granted bail in the sum of $15,000 with 1 surety and has to reappear at the St. George's Magistrates Court number 3 on November 11th. All right? Okay. So that's one of the examples where social media was a great benefit. Before I move on, let me check out things here and once again acknowledge that today's winner, Hazel Ferguson. Hazel has done it again. Peter Bishop's number 2. Sawandi Fabio Sam saying good morning to you guys. Annette Ragba Singh is saying good morning, George. Hello, Annette. Susan Robinson is saying good morning. Fitzroy Adams is doing likewise. Peter Bishop says, I guess the RGPF have not seen the social media post on cell phone gate. Hence no charges against Sheldon Scott. Can you please forward some of these posts to the RGPF? Please. Okay, and by the way, Pedro is an ex-cop, okay? I think that's the reason why he keeps a very, very close eye on what's going on with the RGPF. Another Peter this morning. We have a lot of Johns and Peters here. Another Peter this morning. Peter Belfont says, good morning, George, to you and your loyal audience. I'm just wishing all a great day. Well, thank you very much, Peter. We wish you the same. Claude Putner is saying good morning, Mr. Grant. Ernesto Jose. Good morning, my principal and fellow classmates. Happy Wednesday. Well, happy Wednesday to you too, Ernesto. Kipling Francis sending his blessings as always. And by the way, Millicent Husband is saying good morning. John Bruno is there as well. Yes, goes the first John. We'll see John, what's his name? Nosy Neck. He'll probably show up in just a wee bit. John Bruno is saying good morning. Yeah. Peter Belfont says, George, do you allow consistent posting on your program? I do something every Wednesday. I captioned it the midweek post. Well, run that by me and we'll see what happens. As long as it doesn't take away from what we're trying to do here in the 1 hour that we're allotted. And, you know, some people have been on my back, George, you know, you talk about 1 hour and you've been going an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half, and so on and so forth. You better rethink the length of the program. Well, yeah, we'll see. We're also giving some thought to probably moving it from 9 o'clock in the morning to maybe sometime in the evening. I don't know. That's something that's being debated. Now, on September 25th in 2018, the decommissioned Grenada Coast Guard cutter, the Tyrell Bay, after being professionally cleaned at Clark's Court Bay Marina, was towed out to sea and sunk at her final resting place, becoming Grenada's newest wreck diving site. Yeah? Remember, we have what is supposedly the best wreck in the Caribbean, the Bianca Sea. How many of you remember the Bianca Sea? Boy, I remember that. I was a student down at PBC, and I remember standing there on Church Street, sometimes on top of Market Hill, watching that boat burn. That was scary, But I'll tell you, it brought out the best in Grenadians. Yeah, we responded. So, in her first year at her new home, she has been visited, that's the Tyrell Bay, she has been visited by 3,607 divers who have all been thrilled to explore her uniqueness. Makes me wish I was a certified diver. On the Grenada Broadcast website, you will find some images. I think I posted 5 pictures of that boat sitting on the bottom of the sea there, on the seabed. I posted that last night, and you might want to check it out after the program today. You know, go take a look at it. In addition to the Tyrell Bay, back in March of 2018, the Hotel and Tourism Association sponsored the sinking of the cargo vessel Anina to add to Grenada's wreck sites. And since her sinking, Anina has been visited by 3,983 divers. So, see what? There's an interest in our wrecks. And I think those are what keep the dive industry going. Okay, now, 14 minutes after the hour. Folks, back to social media here for just a minute. Osmond Lewis says, good morning, everyone. It's nice and sunny in Brooklyn. Hey, it's nice and sunny here too, Osmond. Is Osmond a man or a woman? I'm not sure. Forgive me on that one. Peter Bishop says hi to Millicent. And Millicent acknowledges. Peter Bishop says, I follow you online, your online radio from time to time. Nice job, keep it up. And Peter Bishop is also extending a welcome to Anderson Matheson, who is also acknowledging Comrade. And by the way, Peter's nickname is Comrade. Now, let's get ready to smile just a little bit. This is only about 1.5 minutes long, okay? But I think you'll get a little chuckle out of it. So here goes. Be careful about wearing sunglasses when you go into a bank these days, all right?
Well, look at me and trouble here again now. I didn't Grenada the other day, you know. I go in the bank to change a lot 20 US my virgin sent for me and thing. And I feeling real good. I living with my bad shades and thing. And I feeling real pretty and thing, you know. I like it myself because, you know, I don't too bad looking and thing. When I reach inside you now, the teller tell me, remove my shades, Mr. Rich. I say, remove my shades. I say, what the shades do? Oh, for security reasons, because the shades is a form of, you know, disguise and, you know, for security purpose, you got to take out your shade share to see what it. See, well, when my money change, I take out the shades. When I watch you, man, then I realize why I really dealing with it. I say, you want me to take out my shade? Who is you? Oh, don't worry about who is me. I say, oh, thing. The woman eyelash touching me from over the counter for so long. Then the woman missing she eyebrow. I see a pencil mark long as from here to over the woman and tell me that thing. I say, hey. I said, well, look at you, thing. Who is you? Oh, I son. So I said, well, let me see your ID. When the woman showed me she ID, she look nothing like what I don't think. I say, well, that is a security threat. I tell you, if you see powder on the human face, I say, well, who is you? The human face are more powder than, I tell you what, I never see powder, so you know. I say, girl, don't come to me that the shopping is all you what is security hazard, man. All you what is security threat. Who is you? Nobody don't know who they. You know, look me idea, look just as me. You want to come and tell me about security. Don't come to me the shopping is, man. All you what hiding. All you what hiding behind powder. When all you want to come and tell man take out shades. Remove all your bundle of powder on all your face and don't come to me no stupidness. You understand? I don't know how you they walking in bank and all you have all this powder and thing. Who is you? Nobody don't know. I show your mother come here, she don't recognize you. Don't come to me the stupidness, man. What is all?
I did tell you, didn't I? That is just hilarious as far as I'm concerned. By the way, pilgrims, let me give you a quick glance. There she is. She has arrived. I thought she was going to be late this morning, but she isn't. Here she is sitting right here. So yeah, we're going to have some fun in just a little bit. We have now been joined, Peter Bishop is laughing his head off here. We've now been joined by Arthur Langine. I think he's in, I'm not sure, I think it's in New York. Say good morning to you guys. So I'll tell you what, let's take our first little break here and then we'll come back with the National Report.
Because your vehicle is a necessity, being roadworthy is critical. Hubbard's Motor Department introduces its new tire and battery sales and service outlet located at Building Supplies Compound in Grand Dams, close to the Sugar Mill Roundabout. Available are a wide range of competitively priced tires, maintenance-free batteries, oils and lubricants. Keeping in mind your busy schedule, this outlet is equipped to provide you with fast and reliable service. Simply drive in and you'll be delighted with your service experience. For more information, contact 440-2087. Hubbard's, quality service, affordable prices.
You don't know how many hurricanes will be coming this season, so you need to be prepared. At Hubbard's Hardware and Building Supply Departments and Food Fair Supermarkets, everything from canned foods, flashlights and batteries, to plywood, tarpaulin, lanterns, roof repair kits, water tanks, etc. are available. For over 90 years, we've helped you prepare for and recover from storms. Hubbard's Hardware, Food Fair Supermarkets, and the Grenadian General Insurance, an integral part of your hurricane preparedness plan.
I'm always on the move. Training, traveling, competing. So it's good to know I have Co-op Bank in the palm of my hand.
Introducing e-banking, one of many customer convenience services from Grenada Cooperative Bank, and there's more to come.
It's swift, simple, and secure.
Welcome home.
I was saying that Sherron is here, and we'll get to her in just a wee bit. John Bruno is saying good morning to her. Charmaine DeLille is also saying good morning and sending her blessings to everybody. And by the way, Arthur Langine has confirmed for us that he is in New York. All right, it's now 20 minutes after the hour. And right now, we got about 13 minutes of the National Report. Saddle up.
Prime Minister calls for action on climate change adaptation in meeting at the UN. Details to this story and more in the National Report. With the details to the news for Tuesday, September 24th, I am Leslie Ann Johnson. Prime Minister Dr. The Right Honourable Keith Mitchell has called for action on climate change adaptation as he addressed a meeting on the fringes of the United Nations General Assembly. Dr. Mitchell, who is a co-commissioner of the Global Commission on Adaptation, the GCA, says Caribbean countries are embarking on various initiatives to address climate change, but there is a need to do more.
We need action, not more talk. Action that will reduce the cost of the impact of climate change. Action that will provide sustainable mechanisms to help people and communities to cope. Action that will enable us to build the resilience required. Action that will enable us to reduce losses and strengthen our economic and social capital. Such actions, colleagues, however, need to be fully resourced. I therefore call on the international community and those who are listening to join in this effort and provide the financing required to climate-proof or vulnerable countries.
The Prime Minister pledged Grenada's commitment to continue being a partner in the work of the GCA, and he commended the Commission for helping to change the focus on climate change from mitigation of greenhouse gases to adaptation and resilience. Tuesday's GCA event at the UN headquarters in New York was the launching pad for a year of action, which is intended to advance the recommendations in the Commission's flagship report, which was issued earlier this month. The Year of Action will also help accelerate adaptation around the world, improve human well-being, and result in more sustainable economic development and security. The year will culminate with a Climate Adaptation Summit in the Netherlands in October 2020. Dr. Mitchell has been one of the co-commissioners of the Global Adaptation Commission since it was launched in October last year. The Commission, according to its website, has a mandate to manage the effects of climate change through technology, planning and investment. The Commission is led by former United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon, along with Bill Gates and World Bank CEO Kristalina Georgieva. 2 emergency operating centers are to be constructed in the state, one on the mainland and the other on the sister isle Carriacou, at a total cost of $6.5 million. That announcement by the Honourable Nicholas Steele, Minister for Health, Social Security and International Business, during Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing.
We're pleased to announce the construction of 2 emergency operating centers, one in Grenada and one in Carriacou. The one in Grenada is going to be in Montjaloux, estimated cost $3.9 million. Completion date estimated to be 31st of March 2021. And the one in Carriacou, estimated cost $2.6 million. Completion date estimated to be 20th of February 2021. Both of these facilities come with the kind donations from the United States government through coordination with Southcom and Naval Facilities Command, who are the ones in this region that help deal with emergencies, national emergencies for the islands.
Using the opportunity to commend the National Disaster Management Agency NADMA for timely dissemination of information regarding Tropical Storm Karen on Sunday, Minister Steele said his government is looking forward to the commencement of the structures to strengthen the agency's ability to respond to natural disasters. A contract has already been awarded.
There is first and foremost a U.S., in this instance, a U.S. contractor that has been awarded, and that is the Naval Facility Command Engineering. They will now come down to Grenada and go through a process of a subcontractor as to whether, based on their rules, so this is not applicable to our rules of procurement where we are receiving the money to then go through, which we would go through a tender process. In this instance, they are delivering a turnkey to us. So while there's a dollar value attached, their contractor will go through process according to their rules to get a Grenadian subcontractor or subcontractors to do the construction. We look forward in that process to as many jobs being created in Grenada and the sister island, coordinating with them wherever possible.
The projected completion date for both projects are February and March of 2021. Minister Steele says the structures will be built to resist hurricanes, earthquakes, and floods. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Prepare for hurricane. Prepare for hurricane. Make sure you have your radio and your batteries too. Waterproof flashlight candles will do. Tin stuff, garbage bag, first aid kit. Come on, people, make sure you have it. Clean water in a container and a hurricane plan. Hear me, no man.
Hurricane damage is beyond your control. Surviving the aftermath is up to you. Have a hurricane plan. It can save your life and your family too.
Prepare for hurricane. Your hair, prepare for hurricane.
Continuing the news, 5,156 Grenadians have benefited from the week-long visit to Grenada of the U.S. naval ship Comfort. The ship, which provided walk-in services from general surgery to dermatology, helped to ease the burden on Grenada's health sector, especially in the area of cataract surgery. Statistically, 2,366 persons received general health care, 1,925 were seen for optometry, 769 for dentistry, and more than 100 surgeries. Senior Medical Officer Dr. Francis Martin spoke to the surgeries performed during Tuesday's post-cabinet briefing.
According to the breakdown, the 90-plus surgeries that was noted are actually major surgeries. But when we look at through the family medicine and the family practice and other forms of services that required surgical procedures, we had an additional 50-plus surgical procedures. And those would include things like keloid removal, biopsies, removal of cysts, the lumps and bumps kind of issues. So when we really add those two together with the 96 surgeries, we come up to about close to 150, it's about 147 surgeries. And initially the ship had planned on giving 150 surgeries. So from that standpoint, we have accomplished our objective in terms of the surgeries.
More than a day was lost due to negative press prior to the ship's arrival. Health Minister, the Honorable Nicholas Steele, hopes people will see the merits of taking early advantage of these opportunities in the future.
We, the ministry, had to actively get involved in further public relations, getting people to give testimonials, etc., on air, to convince Grenadians that the rubbish that was being said by a few others on social media was exactly that, totally ridiculous. And thankfully at that point, people saw the facts and the truth and came out and took advantage of the opportunity. But regrettably, we lost about a day and a half in terms of having a maximum showing on the Sunday and the Monday. So the lesson there is to be cautious of what's on social media. All that's on social media isn't necessarily true. And there are naysayers who weren't even Grenadians in the beginning, who were posting stuff, but Grenadians were circulating it, that denied us as a people the opportunity for proper medical care, or some of us. Because up to the last day, we had large crowds there at both staging grounds. But unfortunately, the team was here for a significant period, but was here for a definite period. So on the Friday afternoon, they had to close up shop, much to the regret of many Grenadians who still had not been seen to, that we now have to follow up and find ways that we can get their issues addressed. But it just shows, I think we need to be less gullible. We need to have more faith in our government and our government system and our doctors who are independent of our government and our government system.
In other news on the medical front, the General Hospital has been recognized by the Pan American Health Organization as a baby-friendly hospital, coming second behind Barbados, which has already been recognized as such. The General Hospital has been consistent with the practices, procedures, and policies of the 10 steps to breastfeeding. The Health Minister presented a plaque in recognition to hospital staff on Tuesday. Finally, organizers of the inaugural Ariza Pure Grenada Open Water Invitational say the event has surpassed their expectations. The invitational attracted more than 100 swimmers to Grandad's Beach over the weekend, 42 of them coming from the US, Sweden, and Canada. It was witnessed by scores of supporters, including Minister for Sports, Senator Nolan Cox, who commended all parties involved for making it a success.
One of the things that we know about this event that it's going to grow. We didn't spend much time together with GASA marketing it and advertising as it should because we were trying to get it within a particular window. However, it has turned out very well. I must commend GASA for the efforts. I mean, they have been doing an excellent job, and I think this is a new event on our calendar, sporting event on our calendar that is going to grow and expand. One of the things that I'm also happy about is that I think 10 swimmers from Carriacou was also part of today's event, which is very significant. Carriacou and Petitmanic have a strong swimming contingency, so I think it was good to include them as well to ensure that they get part of this experience. So this is a wonderful, wonderful event for us. I think it's gonna be massive going forward.
Health Minister, the Honourable Nicholas Steele, an avid fan of the sport, says an event of that nature in the south of the island, in particular Grandad's Beach, is long overdue, and he used the opportunity to commend GASA, Ariza, GTA, and other stakeholders.
We've had the Cross Harbour that has shown the potential. Open water has always had a potential here. This is one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. So it just seems obvious that all of this should have happened. So it's great that they're doing it. I am proud that it's happening in this constituency, but also proud to have been associated with swimming for decades.
The CEO of Ariza, title sponsor of the event, Lucia Livingston-Andal, believes with stakeholder participation and teamwork, the Open Water Invitational has the potential to grow.
We see this as a beginning of great things for Grenada, both in terms of our involvement on the international scene, and also perhaps being a catalyst for the OECS to really springboard into open water swimming in a big way.
And how satisfied are you because we're seeing a number of young swimmers?
Oh, the young people are the future of our nations. The young people is where it all begins. And we're very, very, very pleased to see the participation of the young people. And through the years, there are a number of young people who have swum and who have fallen away. And we want to encourage them to use this opportunity to get back into swimming.
The winners were awarded with medals and trophies, compliments title sponsor Ariza. And that's the National Report. I'm Leslie Ann Johnson.
Alrighty, folks, so there you have it. That was last night's edition of the National Report. Our time's now moved on to 26 and a half minutes away from the hour. A couple of comments here. First of all, during that report, you were joined by Mr. Chester Simon out there in Switzerland. John Bruno says, as we continue to experience extended dry spells and reduced rainfall, I would like you to voice our concern for the quality of water that NAWASA is offering to residents both in Carriacou and Petitmartinique. They cannot be allowed to distribute demineralized water, which is the same as distilled water, to residents. Okay, I hope NAWASA is listening, John. Kipling Francis, Kipling is referring to the address which was delivered by the Prime Minister at the United Nations yesterday. Kipling says, wherever there is money, there you will find my PM, pretending to care. Ha, ha, ha. Kipling. Huh. Ryan Jabon says, good day, and today is a sad day. Funeral of my wife's uncle of Granbra, Stedman Sawney, here in Port Charlotte, Florida. Ryan, please, I don't know Stedman, but please accept my condolences, and I'm sure the people on the forum also reach out to you with their condolences. Rudy John, hello Rudy John, how are you, sir? Ernesto Jose says, well, the PM in New York and I am looking forward to ask him a few questions concerning Garaway and other matters of concern if he meets with Grenadians before he leaves. I haven't heard of any town hall meetings, and I found that kind of strange, but anyhow. Kipling says, so we are like the prodigal son of the United States. He's referring to, they just showed some footage of the work that was being done by the U.S. naval ship, the Comfort, when she was here a couple of days ago. Arthur Langine says, you wouldn't get the opportunity to ask Lionel one question. Please. Joyce C. Smith says, faith in government. Now, I'm not sure which story she's referring to, but she says faith in government. Okay. Ernesto says, I think Mr. Steele should be ashamed of himself as Minister of Health because what he could not do for health in Grenada was done in 1 week by the U.S. naval ship Comfort. That's one of the things I'm going to talk to Sherron about this morning. I understand that for 2 years, we didn't have, didn't have oxygen, but our oxygen plant here was, and along comes this naval ship. 2 days, they fix it. Something amiss here. I'm not sure what it is. Ernesto Jose says he hangs out on Clarkson Avenue in Brooklyn playing dominoes. Yeah, I understand the man loves playing dominoes. Why don't you see if you can get in and, get to play a hand of dominoes with a man? You may have a chance to ask some questions. Okay, so now, another quick break here, and then we'll come back with smiling Sherron, see what she has up her sleeve this morning.
We are honored to partner with the Grenada Schools, Inc., the Ministry of Education, and the Caliste Government School in providing this library. GCPI program put $120,000 or 66% of the cost of the library. But it's not an investment that is intended to bring a financial return. It is an investment in the human capital of our youth in Grenada.
GrenLec has shown us their seriousness about partnership, their seriousness about education, and their seriousness about nation building. That local partnership tells our major donors that Grenada is interested.
We have got a big vision at Grenada Schools. We believe that what we can do is, through literacy, have the most literate country in the Caribbean. We are very happy that you got this gift from ourselves and from GrenLec.
We see this library as a unique and valuable resource. One of the best things about receiving this library is that it honors and recognizes the efforts and contributions of a company like GrenLec and Grenada Schools Incorporated.
Since 1994, GrenLec shareholders have invested over $22 million. This has been invested in the communities throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. We hope this library will serve the students and school well for many years to come.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try their sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Alrighty, folks, here she is. Come on, smile. There you go. That's more like it. Miss Roberts, Miss Wilshire, how are you, man?
I am fine.
You're fine? Don't get blown away?
Boy, you know, life is such that I've been planning for this conference for a whole year. And now that it's here, everything that could go wrong, today decide to go wrong. From yesterday, including both my vehicles breaking down. You know, so much so we had to rent a vehicle last night so that we could try and sort out one, because we have people coming in today, like every hour, every flight that comes into Grenada has somebody. People have been coming in since Saturday.
Yeah. I tell you what, before you go any further, Sherron, when you get one of those vehicles fixed, keep it, use it. Give me the other one. So I don't have to stand by the side of the road, tumbling ride, you know, everything.
Well, I actually gave away my RAV4 to my son. And yesterday I was saying, you know what? The RAV4 gives a better ride than the Subaru. Subaru is new. The RAV4 is like, how old? 14 years. But what a lovely vehicle.
Still gets you around.
Yeah, man, and smoother, it's a very smooth ride.
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened yesterday. It refused to cooperate with me. It's okay this morning for some reason. But I wanted to talk a little about Reiki, because you had Ken and Winthrop speaking about Reiki, and we talk about the conference. But you know, today I saw Reiki at play. We have 5 precepts. And you look at me now, and I am actually feeling quite calm, considering all that's going on.
Right.
And one of the first precepts, we have 5 precepts that we live by. And I must confirm, Reiki is not a religion or anything. But you know, when you set yourself limits or goals and stuff like that, the Reiki precepts tell you, just for today, do not worry. And if you take just today and tomorrow, just tomorrow, you know, so each day you just take it on its merit. So just for today, do not worry.
One day at a time.
Ah, boy. And you know, I kept telling myself today, every time something give me a knock, I said, just for today, do not worry. And I could feel myself coming into a calm place. And the second precept, just for today, do not anger. You know, honor your parents, teachers, and elders. And your teacher could be a 2-year-old child. Live your life honestly. You know, in other words, let your word be your bond. Live your life honestly and show gratitude for every living thing. And I say thanks this morning for everything. And it could have been worse.
Yeah.
But guess what? You deal with it, and it's all good.
This morning, Ryan is getting ready to bury a relative this morning.
You know?
You know, something that came out of the program that we did with Winthrop and Kennedy on Sunday is how important, how much of a role the mind plays
That's
in
right.
our well-being and
That's
health.
right. That is so true.
So you're getting ready for the conference. I understand that once you get out of here this morning, work time, eh?
Work. Well, I've been working all last night. I went to bed after 2, putting name tags onto lanyards, and
Okay.
we have a lot of stuff to do still.
And people continue coming in, more coming in today?
More coming in today. We have about 50, we actually have 59 people at the conference, to be at the conference. And of the 59, we have 21 from Grenada, based in Grenada. And
So
the rest,
59 plus 21?
No,
or
no,
a total
no.
of 59?
including
Grenada.
of the 29, of the 59,
21 are from
21
Grenada. Okay.
are from
Okay,
Grenada.
gotcha.
And the rest are coming in from Canada, Cyprus, the UK, the US, British Virgin Islands, Jamaica, Antigua, Dominica, St. Lucia, Barbados, Trinidad.
Okay. So it's going to be a good session.
Yes.
Yeah.
So if you're feeling the energy, that's us doing our thing.
Pump a lot of energy up by Willett Road, please. Please?
Yes.
Yeah? And then you could leave some down at Camahan Park, so the next time we go to the beach, you know, we have some energy down there. Huh?
Yes.
I'm assuming that these folks are going to find some time to be on the beach while they're here.
Oh yes, we're actually, the theme of the conference is spiritual, emotional, and ancestral healing. But if you notice, SEA, spiritual, emotional, ancestral. So we've worked it into the whole experience, Grenada experience. We're actually on the Montrouge Beach, which is the official name for it. Some people know it as BBC.
BBC.
And tomorrow we're in the field. We go into Granitang Lake and we go into Belmont Estate and we're having lunch there. And the evening, some folks are planning to be at Prickly Bay dancing.
Shake a leg.
Yep. And we have some serious things happening. We have a presentation called Reiki and Nature, which will be done at Granitang. And then we have a session called Healing a Broken Heart at Belmont Estate.
Any lovebirds out there suffering a broken heart?
And then we have a session on spiritual healing, Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, a session on emotional healing, which Winthrop is going to be doing.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday morning, we have ancestral healing. And every morning we'll be on the beach at 6 o'clock. Some sessions of Tai Chi, and some people are going to be running, and some swimming. And we have a session we call Sleeping for Peace. That's the people who are too lazy to get out of the beds.
I'm the president of that group.
So that's us in a nutshell.
You know, you mentioned that they're going to be on the beach at 6 o'clock every morning. It seems like, you know, a lot of people are going to the beach in the morning to have their get-togethers, not just individually like you and I and so do, but we were there a couple of Saturdays ago, I think it was, and there was this GARP. GARP is the Grenada Association of Retired Persons.
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, and they were doing
Tai Chi.
So.
Yes.
Good
so
venue.
as we go through the Caribbean, we've been doing Tai Chi at every gathering. We do a Tai Chi in the morning.
Okay.
So.
Sherron, I don't know if you have run across this on social media, but I played it a few minutes ago. There's a young Grenadian who went into a bank here the other day. And I want you to tell me about your experiences with the banking system in this place. This guy apparently went into the bank wearing sunglasses. And he was told to take his sunglasses off. Okay? Because, you know, with all the stuff, crazy stuff that's going on in the world today, the banks have implemented a lot of security measures, you know, for obvious reasons and so on and so forth. And this guy, I don't know if he deliberately set out to be funny or what, but he decided to pick on the teller and he pointed to the fact that she had eyelashes that were like reaching out to there and a long streak and a lot of powder on her face and all of that stuff. Okay, it was just hilarious. I can't help it, man. I have to laugh. What's your experience with the banks? Mine is the fact that they seem to have a total flagrant disrespect for customers. The banks may have 8 wickets, okay? And you might have a lineup out to the door. And if you're lucky, 3 tellers.
Yeah. As you say, if you're lucky, because most times it's only one.
Right.
You know, I avoid banks as a plague. I try my best not to go in there, and I think it's ridiculous. Wherever, and it's not just one bank, any of them. As if they see the crowd and they decide, time for lunch.
Yeah.
Somebody was saying to me the other day, my nephew, when we talk about banks close at 2 and 4 on Fridays. And he says, so what they do for the rest of the day? They work from 8 to 2? So I said, well, maybe they have to you know, count the money and all this. But the reality is, if you finish with the public at 2, can't you wait to go for lunch instead of everybody going for lunch at 12 o'clock? And you'd be in a line and all of a sudden go to the next teller.
Yeah.
We had a game when we were children, go to the next neighbor. I don't know if you know it. You form a ring and somebody in the ring go to somebody. One person in the ring, and you would go to somebody and say, give me a piece of fire. And they say, go to the next neighbor. Until you eventually get the fire, and which is a lot of running around and trying to catch the person and all this. But that's what they do, go to the next teller.
You know what really bothers me about this, Sherron? A lot of people are only able to get to the bank during their lunch break, okay? And to just go and have to stand up there and wait and wait and wait while 5, 6 tellers are, or wickets are empty. That's an insult to people.
You know, the amount of times when I worked, when you work with the U.S. Embassy, you have half an hour lunchtime.
Yeah.
And you hustle and get to the bank. And after 15 minutes, you have to leave and go back with your work undone if you're really conscientious and want to get back to work in time.
Yeah, yeah. That's a dent in productivity in this place. And you know, when an institution like a bank contributes to a drop in productivity, I think that's a shame.
But you know, to the other part of it, what he said about the eyelashes and the makeup and I think they're gone ridiculous with this thing. I call it camel lashes. They put on this thing that you cannot wear glasses if you have it on, because they're going to brush against the glasses. I would think. I've never worn makeup, so I don't know. I don't even wear lipstick. So I don't know how they do that. You paint your face. What time you have to wake up in the morning to do this kind of thing? You have to be always late. Unless you're really good and you wake up, you spend an hour on your face. And then the damage all this makeup must be doing to your skin.
Okay, hold on a second now. Susan Robinson says here, was this a real event at the bank? She's referring to the speech that I played. Okay, was this a real event at the bank? Just asking. This guy looks like a comedian that usually posts funny things. Susan, listen, it could be. You may be right on the money there, Susan, but if even it was hilarious. Okay, it was hilarious. You gotta admit that. Ernesto Jose says, I usually use my Wednesday to listen to a representative from the administration on the To The Point program on GBN. But lately, The questions from that host have nothing to do with the current events in Grenada. Well, now I found my Wednesday replacement, GGS.
Okay.
He says, GG, he is a comedian, one of my pals in Brooklyn. Ernesto, congratulate that man for me, because it was funny. I don't care. It was funny, okay? And what, let's assume that the event he referred to was not right or not correct, not real. The banks do have a lot of problems. They do have a lot of problems. And I really, really feel disrespected when they treat their customers that way. Okay. Sherron, we have all been critical at one point or another. My final question, hold on. Ryan says, agreed. Don't like women with makeup. It looks garish, Sherron.
It's fake.
30-minute lunch break, not enough? 30-minute lunch break, not enough. He's an exclamation mark. Sherron, we've all been critical about social media from time to time. And last night I was watching the news, and a lot of people who had their cameras rolling, their iPhones rolling when this bus went into the carnage, caught some images of a young child lying on the sidewalk, okay? And the piece last night criticized the people who took that video footage, okay? I understand that. I understand that. But you know something, Sherron? I also saw some good, and I have seen good come out of those images. This child was lying on the ground, helpless. Child did not die, but I understand that she was in intensive care, okay? And a lot of Grenadians standing over the child. And the person who sent the video for me, or to me, said to me, look, none of them doing the right thing. They're just standing over this child, gawking, instead of doing CPR. Okay?
Yeah.
Yes, was it yes? Monday morning, I had a young man on this program here, Earl Maitland. And you know what? As a result of that, this man is about to launch some training sessions on CPR. If that video had not shown this incident, you may not have heard about CPR programs.
You know, and they're positive and negative of everything really. But, and yes, the good thing is that now they're aware that they need to train people in CPR. But you know, Red Cross offer that. St. John Ambulance offer training. People not taking it up.
Yeah.
And then you see a situation like that and they all go, ah. You know, the week before this happened, or the week of that incident, Red Cross was doing training in CPR.
Yeah.
And they have the I don't know what they call it, the dummy that you use to do. They were doing that.
I was one of those dummies.
And you know, if you ask, if the different organizations request of Red Cross, that is one of the things they do. Or even St. John's Ambulance. They train people to do that.
Yeah.
You know? So, and it's something that everybody, like the guys on the boat, I must say, enough respect to Petit Martinique. And those two guys, I know them very well.
Okay.
I know their parents, I know their grandmother. So they're first cousins actually. The two boys, their mothers are sisters.
Okay.
And they are divers. They're not just fishermen off the boat. They are divers. They've been diving since, actually the young one, Jake, his father is an extremely good swimmer, diver. He's from Grenada. And Teron, this young guy is from Petit Martinique. They're just awesome. Enough respect to everybody else who was involved, but I must say I'm very proud of Jake and Teron.
Okay. Here's a note, Sherron. from a couple of notes. Susan Robinson. She says the issue with that image was that no one remotely did anything to help this child.
Exactly.
That's the point we're making, Susan. That's the point we're making.
And they have a line on her
They did
back.
something. They were, everybody was taking
They had her line on her back and then on her side.
Yeah.
You know, so it's...
Now here's a question from Benedict. Benedict, not a question, yeah, it's a question. He says, Ryan, help me here. Ryan is a nurse, okay? Retired nurse. Is CPR needed if she was breathing? My next question is, was she breathing?
Well, none of us really know. But I as far as I know, when you once you get down in the water, you lean the person over to almost on their stomach to get the water out. And you don't have to, she's so tiny.
Yeah.
You have to be very gentle, so I don't know.
Yeah. Ernesto says, I think every household in Grenada should take a course in CPR.
Of
Good
course,
idea?
of
Good idea.
course.
Yeah.
You know?
Not just for incidents of this nature. By the way,
But we live near to the sea, so you never know when you would need it. I mean, and not just for drowning. You have other incidents, you know.
yeah. Okay. I think that's going to do it for this morning, Sherron. Oh, look at all these people here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us. Good luck with Reiki.
Thank you.
Blow a little stuff our way. We need some energy.
Well, one of the first things we do is send positive energies to Grenada. Grenada really need all the help they could get right now.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what? This too shall pass. I don't know, perhaps I'm a nut, but I remain optimistic, you know.
You know, and I went through a phase where things were everything seemed to have been going wrong.
Yeah.
Actually, I had a charge and she almost sent me out of my mind. She was so totally terrible. And at one stage, I thought, I am going to resign. I cannot take this. And one of my friends, well, she was a colleague in Barbados, she said, Sherron, this too will pass.
Mm-hmm.
And I went home the night and I said, this too will pass. And the next day, she sent a smiling face. And I tell her, I say, you know what? The good book said, and it came to pass. It never say, and it came to stay. So this too will pass.
This too will pass.
And that carried me through 3 years of horror.
Yeah. But it passed.
Yes, and she reminded me, she said, they're soon gone. And when she left, according to my mother, I take my 2 hands and I sign myself.
You what?
I took my 2 hands to sign myself. It passed.
Here's a good way to wrap it up this morning. Ryan Jabon says, Ryan's the nurse I told you about, says, social media is not ludicrous, needing to be shunned. It's a means of communication. If a person has a pulse and is breathing, put her on her side so water can exit and keep the airway open.
That's exactly
Thank
what I
you,
thought.
Dr. Ryan, Nurse Ryan, retired Nurse Ryan. Ernesto Jose says, have a productive day, folks. I have to go to the government job. And Arthur Langine says, Brother George, what is the PM going to talk about in New York? Well, he's up there. Well, no, he might be talking about a lot of things, but I know that he was there to address the climate change issue, okay? I have a whole lot of stuff that I put up on the site last night, including his address. You can check that out on the website. All right, Sherron, thanks a lot, my friend.
All the best.
All the best. God bless you.
Juve chocolates, cocoa nibs, and cocoa balls from Diamond Estate Grenada are now available at Amazon.com, Amazon.ca, Amazon.co.uk, and GrenadaMarket.com. Try the sensational touch of nutmeg and a touch of ginger chocolates, 75% dark and rich, 100% pure cocoa, and their 60% dark and sweet chocolate bars today. Amazon Prime members enjoy free shipping on these orders in the USA, Canada, and Europe. GrenadaMarket.com. When you can't come to the island, the products of the island will come to you.
Can I have a chicken lunch, please? Large.
Real nice today.
Mm-mm. I don't want that.
But you just asked for a chicken lunch.
I don't have problem with the lunch. Afraid the container.
What is the problem with it?
These styrofoam containers, they don't good for the environment. They shorten with life.
What foolishness you telling me? So what you want me to use?
Put my food in this.
Where you get that?
At the food fair, where you could get all biodegradable food boxes and disposable food supplies like cups, plates, anything you could think about. Name it, it's there. And they don't harm the environment. Food fair, taking the lead in cleaning up and protecting the environment. Hey, like you take me advice, you get in your biodegradable food supplies.
Well, girl, I supporting who's supporting the environment. That is why I shop in at food fair.
Food fair, where you can fill your baskets without emptying your pockets. Products distributed by Hubbard's agency, Kirani James Boulevard.
Alrighty, folks, just about time to pull the curtain down. It's 7 minutes after the hour. Today's parting word comes to you from the book of Hebrews, Hebrews chapter 8, verses 10, 11, 12. This is the covenant I will establish with the people of Israel after that time, declares the Lord. I will put my laws in their minds and write them on their hearts. I will be their God, and they will be my people. No longer will they teach their neighbor or say to one another, know the Lord, because they will all know me, from the least of them to the greatest. For I will forgive their wickedness and will remember their sins no more. Comforting. Hebrews chapter 8, 10 to 12. Okie doke. Pilgrims, that's where we're going to pull the curtain down on the midweek edition of Gudday Grenada. As always, real slice having you here with us this morning. Thank you so much. Have a great day at great day at work today. Be as productive as you can as you strive to build this little nation of ours, which God so graciously gave to us. God bless you.